5 minutes. In just 5 minutes, we saw 3 different teams in Belgium take the top spot in the league, ending with a last-second goal to win the title. Not only does this story rival the likes of the Aguero moment or the Dini moment, it trumps them. That's right, the details that add to this story make it the most dramatic league finish in football history. Now first we have to talk about the league itself, because unlike a normal league which just takes the winner with the most amount of points after playing each team twice, you know, the Bundesliga, the Premier League, virtually every other league in the world, it's actually a little bit more complicated than that. It begins normally, there are 18 teams in the league and each team plays each other twice. However, stay with me here,
because the plan gets a little convoluted and a lot crazy.
The league then splits into 2 different groups of 4 teams, featuring the top 8 in the league, the Championship group and the ECL group. The Championship group consists of the top 4 in the league, while the ECL group has the 5th through 8th place teams, and for now, we're just going to focus on the Championship group. The teams in this group consist of, and please forgive me, I'm trying to learn these names and pronounce them correctly, Jank, Union Saint-Gilloise, Royal Antwerp, and Club Brugge. Now, I learned that last pronunciation from Thierry Henry, so if I'm wrong, he's wrong as well.
Suave, Brugge.
Now this was also the order of the league before the split. Jank and USG on 75 points, Antwerp on 72 points, and Brugge on 59 points. Now you may be wondering why I'm mentioning how many points they have. Well, it's because they get their point total cut in half. Seriously, just half their point total yoinked away from them. No one knows why they do this, and most people don't like it. But it provided drama on the final day, so as someone who doesn't have a team in the Belgian League, I'm okay with it. This means the new point total for the teams were 38 for Jank and USG. Technically, they'd have 37.5, but they do round up, and also keep that half point in mind. It comes in handy later. 36 for Antwerp and 30 for Club Brugge. Now, everything goes back to normal in this mini league. You still get the same amount of points for a win, draw, and loss. Each team will play each other twice, so that means there are just 6 games remaining for each team, with just 2 points separating first, second, and third. And if that wasn't enough, there are still European places up for grabs, with first and second getting Champions League, third place getting Europa League, and fourth place getting Conference League. Okay, now I know that was a lot of information. I get it. So let's just take a second or two. Okay, let's talk about the teams. First up, we have Club Brugge. Is it not Club Brugge? I always thought it was Club Brugge. Whatever, I'm trusting Thierry Henry. Club Brugge. The second most successful team in the history of Belgium with 18 titles, and without a doubt the most dominant in the past decade, winning 5 of the last 7 titles since last year. Ironically, however, they are the worst team in this group, coming up dead last by a fair margin. So what exactly happened? The manager at the time was sacked in December after an early exit in the Belgian Cup, losing 4-1, and finding his team in 4th in the league, already 12 points behind the leaders. Now, even with all of these turbulent results and a change in manager, they still found themselves in 4th place. However, that wasn't really up to them. They beat out Gent for 4th place because Gent lost to a relegated team on the final day before the split. Now, it's worth noting that this club has a fierce rivalry with another club in this group, Royal Antwerp, dating all the way back to 1908. According to Wikipedia and a headline of an article I found in Belgium that I can't really fully translate because of a paywall, fans of Club Brugge attacked the Antwerp players after a loss, causing hatred between the clubs ever since. And if I'm wrong about this, please, for the love of God, tell me. I do not want to piss anyone off. So naturally that leads us to Antwerp, and despite being a historic club in Belgium with multiple titles and a supportive fan base, they have actually massively underachieved for decades and only recently beginning to show promise again. In fact, they were actually in the 2nd tier for most of this century, only recently being promoted in 2017. After some rocky form right before the World Cup, they went on to lose just 1 time in their last 13 games before the split, including winning the Belgian Cup against their local rival KV Mechelen. It's a very good time to be in very good form. Union Saint-Gilloise, or I'm just going to say USG from now on, is actually an extremely interesting team in their own right, and I could make an entire video about them, but that's not the point of this video, so we're just going to keep it relatively short. They're the 3rd most successful team in Belgium, however, they haven't won a title since 1935, and it has been a roller coaster since then. Jumping between divisions for the next few decades, they found themselves in the relegation zone of the 3rd division in 2013, and only because of other teams' issues were they able to stay alive via a playoff victory. They then got promoted into the 2nd division in 2014, again because of other teams' issues, not necessarily because of them, and they managed to get promoted back into the top flight in 2021. The first year back into the top flight saw them finish first before the split in 2022, and they found themselves tied for first on points before the split in 2023, even while battling in the Europa League quarterfinals, a huge feat for a newly promoted side. Finally, we have Jank, a team with a relatively new history of success, but a very long history of stability. They've been champions a handful of times since the turn of the century and have been in and around the top 3 in this time frame as well. This year, however, they found themselves on top of the league before the split because they only lost 3 times before March 12th. FYI, they lost on opening day and then won 17 of their next 18 games. Crazy. Fortunately, their great start at the beginning of the year meant that they would finish on top of the league before the split, despite their up and down form heading into it. Let's fast forward to the final day. The table looks like this. USG is on top with 46 points, the tiebreaker being half points. Yes, that half point that USG had before the split. Remember that? That's coming in handy now. Antwerp is in second with 46, Jank is in third with 45, and Club Brugge is in fourth with 33. Jank plays Antwerp at home, while USG plays Club Brugge at home. In this scenario, USG control their own fate. They play the worst team in the group at home, and a win will guarantee them the top spot in the league no matter what. In order for Jank to win the league, Jank will need to win and have USG drop points, while Antwerp will need to either win or draw and have USG drop points at the same time. All of these scenarios are extremely plausible for them to top the league, and all teams are very good, right? They were top 4 before the league split. At halftime, the game scores were Jank 1, Antwerp 0, and USG 1, Club Brugge 0. So at this point in time, USG have the title. With the games nearing the end in the 85th minute, the scores are Jank 2, Antwerp 1, and USG 1, Club Brugge 0. This means that the situation is the exact same for every single team, and remember, USG have the title in their hands, and then everything changes when the 89th minute comes along. Club Brugge score a goal to level things up 1-1. USG are now drawing, and this means Jank has the title in their hands. The point total is now Jank 48, USG 47, Antwerp 46. The 93rd minute comes along, and Club Brugge score a goal again. Noah Lang, aka Ty J Main, scores to put a dagger in USG and effectively costs them the title. The point total now being Jank 48, USG 46, Antwerp 46. Jank think they have the title in their hands, and then in the 94th minute, Toby Alderweireld, the rock for Tottenham for years, who just spent a year vacationing in Qatar, whose boyhood club was Royal Antwerp, decides to take a shot. Just like that, Royal Antwerp, a club who has underachieved for decades, who hasn't won the title since 1957, whose last promotion was just recently in 2017, they have the title. And thankfully for Antwerp, the club holds out for a draw, meaning the table looks like this. Antwerp with 47, Jank with 46, and USG with 46. Now I know I'm not mentioning Club Brugge's point total, and sure they had literally no chance to win the title, but their win still played an important factor in the title race. In fact, you might feel more sorry for Brugge instead of Jank because their win against USG meant their bitter rivals Antwerp lifted the title. And of course I'm reminded of that Wario meme, I've won, but at what cost? Now, if the league winning goal wasn't crazy enough, that also means USG dropped not just from first, but to third, missing out on the Champions League. The reason being why they got third was not the half-point tiebreaker, it was a seeding tiebreaker. Jank finished second above them because of a different tiebreaker in the league before the split even happened. Typically, the tiebreaker is whoever has the most wins, but because they both finished on 23 wins, the next tiebreaker is goal difference. So Antwerp get their first title in over 60 years on their last shot of the season. Meanwhile, USG miss out on a Champions League spot because of a second, third, fourth tiebreaker from before the league split even happened. Oh my god, what a crazy sport. Alright guys, that is going to do it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to see any other type of content like this, I just did an Arsenal video right here, or right here, wherever it is. And if you want to see any other different types of videos, be sure to DM me on Twitter. That's probably the best way to go about it. But like I said, that is going to do it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you guys later. Peace.